church exists to evangelize. The church, that's what the Pope says. Pope Paul VI said the same thing. I think John the 23rd might have said the same thing. But the church, its very existence is for a purpose, to evangelize. So sometimes there's confusion about the word. Like, what does that mean? You know? Well, because you can really say, I mean, look at the source and the summit of our faith. Our sacraments, they are evangelization, right? I mean, it is the good news. But what we're talking about, of course, is how do we go out? How do we make disciples of all nations? How do we preach the gospel to every living creature? All right, this is the last negative slide. But this is a really, really, really important one. Because when we look at head count, it's skewed. It's skewed. It's way, 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 way worse. And we're gonna climb out of this. But it's way worse. If you think about, all right, so how many people have said, all right, the average, what's the average age of daily mass attendees? Okay, right, that just kind of says it all. If you look at the whole childbearing population of the U.S., right, people age 18 to 45. We're 46, so we're hoping we're outside the childbearing. We're not sure. We're not sure. We're open. I say we're open. At this point, we're open, but not hoping. All right. But we're open. So, but seriously, 18 to 45, 86% of Catholics 18 to 45 are not in Mass on Sunday. Every Sunday. 80, if you said, all right, out of 10, how many is that? It's 9. It's right now, 10 minutes. I've got a half hour. It's 9 out of 10, right, are not in Mass on Sunday. So what are we going to do about it? For everyone here, I am so happy that all of you are here. I mean, it really, it charges me up to think, wow, we're building our army, right? Not to make it too heavy on everyone here, because it's a very nice, morning, but we are the light of the world. If we don't do it, I'm telling you, I've talked to hundreds of priests. No one else knows how. There are bright spots, absolutely. There are wonderful ministries, absolutely. But nobody else knows how to put together a process. The force of the waves is in their persistence, right? Sales guy, marketing guy, I know a lot of you people have business backgrounds and things. If you think about just the principles of marketing, does anyone do anything the first time you ask them? Almost never, right? So what most parishes do, they do something. They grab onto something. They do chirp. Wonderful thing. Great fruit comes from church. Christ reduces parish, right? Or Cursillo. It was a big step for me. Cursillo was wonderful. I love it. Cursillo's not parish-based. Chirp isn't really a process. There's all kinds of other things people do. People do Lighthouse Catholic Media. They have CDs and things like that. But it's not a process. It's a great thing. Right? Mary, she was the speaker on one of my favorite CDs. So those are great things. But what we haven't done well as Catholics is say, okay, we need a process, and we need to let it run, and we need to be all in on the process. Okay, so what can we do? One thing sure, if we do the things we've always done, we get what we've always got, right? And what we've always got has got us to 9 out of 10 of the childbearing population. Now what do you think if 9 out of 10 of the childbearing population is not in Mass, and the 1 out of 10 that are, we're not having too many kids anyway, right? We think that there's parishes merging, closing all over the country. So in the last few years, people are like, wow, we had to merge. You know what happens? I was in Cleveland, and this pastor said, well, there was 2 parishes, kind of sister parishes, and their attendance was dropping. So I said, I know, we'll close one parish, and we'll merge them. So now we're up here again. He said, that was 2 years ago. We're back down to where we both were before. Now what do? We don't know. Okay, so now there is incredible hope. This is just from one piece of what we're talking about. The fruit of what you all are going to be doing is immense. This is one piece of our process. We'll talk to you about it. But I want you to consider what this says, really. Attendance at daily mass, right? So you got serious people. They're invested in their faith in a special way. That's 3% of campus. Daily mass attendance. So if you're daily mass, you're 3%. Attendance at daily mass more than doubled and continues to thrive. And those coming to adoration tripled in number. So much so. This was this priest, a very well-known priest in the Fort Worth area, and they have a thriving parish. And this was a letter that he wrote to another priest. Whoops, I don't know what I did. So, that's what one priest. 4 hours is good, right, John? Yeah. Okay.
What time's the Marquette game?
That's right. We got too many overdue announcements. So this priest said, he wrote a letter to another priest a year after this happened, and he wrote, it's still going, right? This is, now I quoted Joel in here, we could have quoted our finance person because someone told us, wow, I remember what our weekly contributions at St. Thomas were in the basket 10 years ago, right? Remember, head count is down across the whole diocese here, right? And Joellen and I said, let's go back and look at the actual data, right? So we had our finance person at the parish pull it. Weekly donations at St. Thomas have increased by 40% in the last 10 years. So remember, what does that mean, really? It means, oh, we're on fire, everyone in town now comes to St. Thomas? No. But it means that the people who are the core is expanding. Our head count's up 12%, by the way, compared to down 20. But it means that our core is expanding, which means people are meeting Christ and realizing that I'm all in. This is who I am now. All my time is the Lord's. All my money is the Lord's. I'm just a steward, right? That's why you all are here. So, to me, it's not about the dollars. I mean, what does a church do with money? Well, they stay open, first of all. And they can do things. They can do things that they think, hey, this would be a good thing for our people. This would be a good thing to evangelize and attract more people. It's a key performance metric. All right, so this is, we reworked, most of this is basically, and we might have changed the names a little bit and stuff like that, but this is pretty much the light of the world evangelization process. We put in a couple of little steps that we think are important, but you've got our charismatic, life-changing retreat, and I explained to, the majority of parishes have no retreat. Well, why is it important? Well, it's important to get away from the noise of the culture and the pressure of our everyday schedules. We always hear, make time for your most important relationship. Right? Well, what's supposed to be our most important relationship? We say, oh yeah, I'm sales and marketing, right, for Light of the World. Well, if sales and marketing is helping people get what they really, truly want, that's exactly what I want to be doing. Because every single person really and truly wants that relationship. They might not know it yet, but they do. So the retreat, it goes into building parish community. What happens, right? You meet, you start to fall in love, you spend time together, right? You get, what Matthew Kelly says is, at some point you get that insatiable, to the point of that insatiable yearning to know more, right? Any of you that have ever been in love and maybe headed towards marriage or married, where you're like, I can't know enough. I mean, you go on a date or something and you spend 6 hours and it's still not enough, right? And it's so much not enough that eventually you want to, shack up, hopefully get married. But discipleship, right? You want that head knowledge to actually materialize into something, and then it's got to go out, right? So Steve Ray, does anyone know who Steve Ray is? So Steve Ray says, why is the Dead Sea dead? Right? You know the Dead Sea over in the Middle East, it's full of salt, nothing can grow in it. You float, I guess. But why is the Dead Sea dead? Because there's no outlet. And that's, the analogy is us as Christians. Now, Catholics have done a great job of service, right?